Mga minamahal ko mga kapatid sa pananampalataya, unang-una, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat na sana nakatulog po kayo ng mahimbing at pag-ingatan po natin ang ating pangangatawan kasi madalas po umuulan tapos biglang iinit. Marami pong nagkakasakit dahil nga sa ganitong klaseng panahon natin. Alam naman ho natin na ngayon po ay nasa ikapitong araw na tayo ng ating Misa de Gallo. At nakakatuwa na maski papado na pagod ang karamihan, nandito pa rin tayo, patuloy na nagsasakripisyo, hindi lamang para sa inyong mga sarili, kundi para sa inyong kapwa na higit na nangangailangan din ng inyong panalangin. Actually, kapag nagsisimba po kayo, hindi lang kayo nagdarasal sa inyong sarili, ito po ay isang pag-aali na panalangin para sa mga kasamahan natin sa pamayanan. Science teaches us a lot about nature, and we learn much about the physical universe through laws and the theories of science. But when you think about it, science can also teach us a lot about the spiritual universe, about things that we really cannot explain, especially in matters of our faith. Science can offer us some guidelines, but not only about the world around us, but as well about the world within, and that is the locus of our relationship with God and with our neighbors. When I was preparing yesterday about today's gospel, I remembered something I learned in my science class back when I was in grade 5. But I'm not so sure if it remains a valid theory today, but it certainly struck me as an interesting theory to reflect upon. And this is about a theory, and this is a theory about light and colors. And it tries to explain why and how we see colors. According to this theory, ordinary light is white light. Yung ordinaryong ilaw ay puting ilaw. Why? Because it is the product of the combinations of all colors. Now we ask ourselves, how about red? An object is perceived red because it reflects the red light wave to the eye while absorbing all the other light waves. Another is colored blue because the object reflects the blue light wave while absorbing all other waves. Now, how do you explain, or how shall we explain a black object? All it means is that the object absorbs all the light waves and it does not reflect any light to the eye. Isn't it so interesting? Kung ang blue object ay nagre-reflect, nagbibigay ng kulay blue, and at the same time, it absorbs all other light waves, the black object simply absorbs anything. It does not reflect any light wave to the eye. Kaya kung mapapansin ninyo, yung kasalanan, hindi ba makasarili? Para lang sa iyong sarili. Hindi ba? Napakaitim ng budhi mo. Very interesting, hindi ba? Now, what about a white object? According to the theory, white objects reflect all the light waves and absorbs nothing for itself. That is a complete opposite to the black object. Kung ang puting ilaw ay nagre-reflect lahat ng light waves, hindi siya nagkakamkam para sa kanyang sarili. Kaya nga halimbawa may binyag tayo, hindi ba? Hindi naman tayo Hindi naman damit na itim ang ipinasusuot natin sa ating mga anak. Puti, because it symbolizes what? Purity, kalinisan. Now, I think this interesting theory about light and colors can be applied to one's spiritual life. Just as the sun is the source of all light on earth, God is the source of all our gifts. The important thing here is that what we do with the gifts that we have received from Him, as a result of what we do, we come in different colors, as it were, depending on the gifts that we give away. Now, you may be wondering, what is now the relationship of what you are saying, Father, to the gospel of today, which is the Magnificat of Mary, which is a beautiful song of Mary, the Magnificat. Ang puso ko'y nagpupuri sa Panginoon. Mary, being chosen by God, is full of grace, full of blessings. She received an immeasurable gift that only God can give to any human person. And that is why she generously magnified the glory of God with her song. She did not accept and possess everything that was given to her by God, but she gave that precious gift, the babe in the manger. Hindi naging makasarili si Maria. Kung naging makasarili si Maria, kakamkamin niya ang lahat ng ibinigay sa kanya ng Diyos. Hindi. She reflected everything that was given to her by God. And I think that's the beauty of what we are trying to reflect here. She sang spontaneously, and her song was not solely for herself, but for God, who has done great things for the poor and the lonely. Imagine an unknown maiden in an unknown place was given this privilege by God. Bakit hindi sa isang prinsesa? Bakit hindi sa isang, sabihin na lang natin, dugong bughaw? Bakit hindi sa isang magandang dilag? Pero sa isang babae na walang kamalay-malay, na hindi kilala, na hindi maganda. Kung maganda man si Maria sa paningin natin, dahil lahat ibinigay niya, hindi para sa kanyang sarili, kundi para sa kanyang kapwa. Alam naman po natin ngayon kung how we measure beauty, hindi ba? Napaka-stereotype natin. No? We are so simply discriminating when we try to, define beauty nowadays. But by her very song, she recognized that God makes the real change in this world, in the very hearts of people. And her song might appear so violent and radical only because God takes sides on the plight of the poor and not of the rich, the lowly and not of the powerful, the humble and not the self-absorbed individuals. What makes us so selfish is that because of the ego. Hindi ba? Alam po natin ang ibig sabihin ng ego. Yung ego ng bawat isa. Gusto natin parati tayong nasa taas. Gusto natin lahat kamkamin natin sa mundong ito. At wala tayong ititirang maibibigay sa ating kapwa. Kasi nga ang point of reference natin, yung sarili natin, hindi yung Diyos na nagbigay sa atin ng biyaya. Ganyan ngayon ang kalakaran ng buhay. Parati sa sarili, hindi sa kapwa. And now, the Magnificat of Mary, which is the Song of Mary, is actually a song seeking for peaceful change. We are not incited to take arms or anything like that. The song describes how God will take care of all those who cannot come into their rights. How God will work the original plan of creation when all were considered to be good and equals, without preference or discrimination. Alalahanin natin si Maria po ay nagdusa. She suffered much discrimination as a Jewish woman, living in an occupied country, taxed and administered by a foreign power. Her Son is coming to restore the old shalom, the long-desired divine peace. And this is what we saw and heard when he broke bread with one another. And he is breaking a bread with us now in this Eucharist, in this gathering. It is his gift to us, his self-emptying gift, his self-denying gift, his self-forgetting gift. And the question is, do we recognize it? And if so, we are blessed, we are graced, and we are gifted by his presence. Brothers and sisters, let me end our reflection. Everything Mary has received from God, she gives back completely to him. And that is why we have reason to celebrate, and that is why Christmas is close to our hearts. Now, if we had to assign a color to the heart of Mary, what would it be? It would clearly be the color of white, because it reflects everything about what God has given her. When you think about it, we could say that Mary truly invites us and shows us the way to the light, who is Jesus himself, the light of the world. By reflecting everything that we have received back to God and keeping none of it for ourselves alone. As a noted poet, Gerard Manley Hopkins urges us to shout, and I quote, "Give beauty back, beauty, beauty, beauty back to God. Beauty's self and beauty's giver. Everything comes from the good Lord."